Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Tim McCann, the head football coach at Leslie. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
So, we begin now the second week of practices. How did the first week go, and just overall, how did the summer go?
Starting with the summer, way back in the spring, we kind of coming off of last season knew what we had to do and where we had to go as far as getting stronger and faster. Our offense is the same, our defense is the same, so we could really just focus in on the strength and speed part of it. And the kids bought in to knowing that we needed to get better, and they showed up all summer long. And through the 7-on-7 stuff, through our 15 days that we got, and then showing up last week. We started at midnight as early as we could. Um, we pushed these kids harder mentally and physically than we've ever pushed a group of kids in the last 3 years since I've been in charge of the program. They responded pretty well. We had a couple instances where we kind of broke some kids down to a point where we knew that they were growing from it, and we knew that we were getting something out of it, as opposed to pushing past that point where you're starting to lose kids. Like I said, they responded well, and the kids had a really good week of practice for as hot as it was and as much stuff as we threw at them. So we're kind of excited for week 2 to get back to a normal schedule, going into scrimmage week, and just see where we can go from there.
Yeah. So, really, what's the outlook for Leslie this coming season?
We're pretty excited. We returned quite a few guys from last year. We're going to return 8, 9 guys on defense, just depending on what defense we're in. We've got 8 for sure starters that come back, and then the ninth one kind of was hit or miss, depending on what teams we played, what kind of offense they ran. And then on offense, we returned 7 starters. We returned our quarterback, our backfield's back. We replaced 3 linemen and our top receiver. But these other guys have been putting their time in, and we got a lot of juniors that have experience on varsity for 2, some 3 years now, and so we're pretty excited.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the kids and some of the names and faces that will be returning for you guys this year.
Yeah, so on the offensive side, we return our quarterbacks, Joel Cramore. He's going to be a junior. He threw for almost 2,700 yards last year, 35 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He had I believe 400 and some rushing yards and another 11 touchdowns rushing. He developed into a pretty good leader. He got some reps as a freshman and took over the starting role last year as a sophomore, and just kind of ran with it. He's a great student of the game, puts a ton of time in, making himself better, both on and off the field. So we're excited to have him back. And like I said, we returned all 3 of our running backs, Evan Dexter being a 3-year starter for us on both sides of the ball. He's going to be a senior. He's a good power back. He's got some pretty good speed. And then we have a tight end that's returning. Jack Fawcett is a junior as well. He's a big kid for us, 6'4", 220-ish. He's actually just committed this last week to Kentucky to play baseball. He's a big time baseball pitcher. So we're excited to have him back on both sides again. He's a tight end DN for us. Then we have Braden Johnson's another junior for us that started last year at in our Z position for a wideout. He's a kid that runs, up near a 4.4 40, super athletic, and can just go get a ball anywhere that's near him. He starts on both sides for us too, going into a second year starting. And then on the old line, we have our right tackle is a 3-year starter for us, Hudson Phillips. He's been a kid that came up as a sophomore, played center for us, and then last year as a junior, we moved him to tackle, and he's going to stay there this year. We have our left tackle was our left guard last year. He's a sophomore, started as a freshman for us, Zach Hardesty. Zach's probably one of the harder working kids we have in the program. Puts in a ton of time, making sure he knows where he's got to be and what he's doing. Um, and then the other 3 spots on the line, we're kind of filling in with some kids that are one will be a sophomore, and then we've got a couple seniors that either played last year, were hurt, or haven't played in a couple years, and we're going to kind of fill those positions in with those guys.
Yeah. All right. So now we talked about some of the kids. Now let's talk about the upcoming schedule for you guys. Of course, starting off at home against Stockbridge on August 28th. Then September 5th, home against Addison. September 12th at Homer. September 19th at Grass Lake. September 26th, home against Michigan Center. October 3rd at Manchester. October 10th at Napoleon. October 17th, home against Millington, and finishing off the regular season October 24th, and that will be the Cascades crossover. So the East teams, which of course Leslie is a part of, will match up with the West side. So um, pretty good schedule as always. Just kind of preview what the division is going to look like.
Yeah, so Stockbridge is a big game for us. That's a school that's about 7 miles away from us. It's one of the longest active rivalries in the state, and it's good for the kids. I mean, most of these kids grow up around each other. They go to the career center together with each other. Some even have families, from across the town. So that's always a fun game for us to be a part of. There's a helmet trophy that was created back in the '90s that gets passed back and forth to the winner. It's something that the kids look forward to every year. It used to be a little different. Stockbridge used to be in our league, so there's a little bit more meaning. It meant more than just a rivalry game, but the rivalry is still there, and we enjoy that game. Then we get right into Cascades play with our crossover games and our divisional games. There's a lot of good competition in the Cascades. We see teams from Division 5 all the way up through they're down through Division 8. There's a couple T teams in there. There's some spread teams in there. So kind of get a little bit of everything between playing Napoleon and Manchester running their version of the T, and Michigan Center spreads the ball out and throws it around a lot. And so we kind of have to be prepared for everything, and kind of gives you a plethora of things to plan for throughout the year. And then hopefully our goal is to playing on that Saturday, in week 9 in the afternoon. Our conference championship crossover game is on a Saturday, and we do all of our all league stuff that day. So it's a good afternoon to be playing a football game and everybody else coming to watch you play.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's kind of preview this week. I know you kind of mentioned it with the scrimmage week, and then we're just a couple days away from we're just a week away, almost a little on over a week away from that game against Stockbridge.
Yeah. It's kind of the camp part of it. Everybody gets excited to start season in the camp. You get to Tuesday, Wednesday of the week, and it starts to wear on kids, and you start getting tired. And then you get to Friday and Saturday, and you start to get that second wind. And then you get to this week where you can start get back into a normal routine of what practice is going to look like through the season. And then you get to Thursday, and you get to actually go, take everything you've been practicing and go hit somebody else and play a different team and line up in different formations and different stuff where people don't know what exactly you're doing. We're fortunate enough this year we're going to host a scrimmage. We haven't done that in probably 5 or 6 years. We have Columbia Central, Reading, and Bath coming to Leslie for our scrimmage. So that's exciting for us to be able to host that, and we hopefully we'll sure up a few spots that we have questions about of who's going to be where, and we'll be ready to go on the short week for Stockbridge coming up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Tim McCann, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck to you guys this season.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out.